Hey guys, so this is another update video. This time it's for Arthur, and there's definitely something we need to talk about Arthur, guys. Every single time I've seen this guy in action or fights, or when I use him, he's either the one that has the same amount as the highest damage dealer in the team, or he's the one doing the most damage. So I started to actually test out and see why, because the main reason is that every single time one of your heroes does skill damage, he does his skill damage, so 320 every single freaking time when he goes off in that situation. So that accumulates. That means that even though he has low attack and things like that, it's only 320. We're talking about 320 like 5 times, sometimes 10 times when the enemy hits you, because his passive on +3, if I'm not mistaken, also does the same thing when the enemy attacks you. So yeah, that's a lot of damage, and specifically to the one that you have stunned. So I'm gonna show off that now, because I'm actually pretty impressed with that in that situation. So I'm gonna use a Drago here, because if I put the red dragon, it's not gonna be very realistic. But the main thing is that we're gonna put him a crit weapon, and no better crit weapon for a strength hero than Lupita's weapon, because this one stacks 3 times, so it's gonna give 60% crit chance for him. So we're gonna do the math now, guys. time to add him with Apollo. Apollo's gonna add even more crit chance and add crit damage. So remember that this guy is slow, so that's going to be a problem getting mana. But if you have, as I explained in the first video, if you have Apollo +5, or if you have him at +5, any one of the two, you won't have so much problems with mana in that situation. But more than anything, Apollo pretty much charges any hero that is yellow and full as out. See, right off the bat, we got him there. So I do have him at +1, so it's going to turn purple here. Check this out. The last shot. That 2,511. So let's see how much crit. We don't have crit right now, so we have to play a little bit more here. But check this out. It doesn't matter who I hit here. It's always gonna do that every single time. Boom, 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 boom. The last one. Boom. Dun, dun, dun. And that little lightning you see in the end, it doesn't do a lot of damage. However, when you actually give him crit chance, like I explained there, it's gonna raise the damage by a whole lot more. I'm gonna show you in a second. Let's see if we have him at 60%. We have him 4%, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So check this out. Now we added crit chance and crit damage here, so it's 40%. Plus 30% addition. That's 70% crit chance and 60% crit damage. So that's gonna raise his attack even higher there. So check this out. Look at that, the last lightning. Boom. It didn't actually crit this time. However, that doesn't mean he's not gonna continue to do damage. Check this out. Boom. That's 9k right off the bat. So 9k every single time somebody goes off. That is pretty insane, guys. Right off the bat. That is amazing. Boom. So let's try to get this other guy. So now we're pretty close to actually getting to the 60% crit chance, and we're gonna do that now just to show that off. Let's see if we can actually get the extra mana. We didn't get the extra mana. Remember, that's 50% chance to get Apollo to actually hit there. To actually get the mana back to the hero that is most left in the board. Alright, let's keep doing this here. Dun dun dun. See, since nobody is stunned right now, nobody's gonna get that extra damage from Arthur here, but we're gonna change that right now. So here we go. Boom. Check out the last thunder here. Boom, 9k. So we're gonna check the stats here. We have 60% crit chance, and we're gonna sum that up to the 30% additional that we got from Apollo. So that's 90% crit chance plus 60% crit damage. So that's gonna raise the damage that he's getting from the crit there. So check this out. You activate one, you're gonna get the lightning every single time. 11k. Oh, damn. Oh, 10k. So every single time a hero goes off, he's going to do all this damage, guys. So I'm going to continue to do this up until the end of the fight so I can show you the stats in the end of all this. So I'm going to continue playing this. I'm jumping in a second here. All right, guys, time to see the results here. 1,950,000. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. He's doing so much more damage than used when he's only +1. Mine is only +1, by the way. But at +0, I pretty much had the same results with him, especially with a crit weapon. If I'm not using a crit weapon, he's still doing a bunch of damage there. But yeah, he does so much more damage than I expected, guys. So when you're actually using this guy on the attack, you can definitely try to give him a crit weapon or a weapon that gives him more attack and things like that, because his passive is going to activate a bunch of times to do a bunch more damage there in that situation. Alright, guys, so let's talk about his weapon real quick, because I didn't talk about that in the first video. So the thing is that all these, well, most of these Royal Guard weapons that receive damage by skill, they stack usually 3 times. So Garabet's weapon stacks 3 times. So this is Garabet's weapon for a strength hero, which is pretty amazing. Pretty freaking amazing, because that means that this weapon will stack 3 times and give 135% mana gain, possibly, to the hero that is actually equipping this. So, but the thing is that since Arthur has this weapon and gets shields over it when he gets the skill damage, he won't be able to stack it. Well, it is possible to stack it if the enemy actually break the shields and keep hitting him in that situation, but it's going to create another shield over it. So this only activates if life is lost through skill damage. So 3 times in a row breaking the shield, yeah, it's going to be pretty hard. Not impossible, but it's pretty hard. So this weapon is good for Arthur for sure, but it's not amazing because it's not going to give him the 135% mana gain, which is that is pretty amazing. That's the problem with it, because that extra shield is going to prevent that. But any other strength hero that does not produce any shields, this weapon is going to be bonkers on that. For example, Samuel would love to have this weapon in that situation. In green team, with the damage share, him going off every single freaking turn, that's going to be pretty crazy. Maybe Chloe may want this weapon, because that's gonna make her go off guaranteed every freaking turn. So that's another thing. So any strength hero that doesn't use any shields pretty much is gonna love this weapon, because it's gonna stack 3 times, and 135% mana gain for any hero is pretty amazing, guys, for sure. So if you're asking if this is a good weapon for him, it is a good weapon, but don't expect to get that sweet 135% mana gain, only the 45%, which is going to help him. But when you're playing him on defense in a mono yellow team, you're going to put him on the most left side of the team, so he gets 100% mana from Apollo's +5. So in that situation, you don't really need that weapon to get the mana gain, only the shields. So you can switch over to other types of weapons for him. Other weapons that I could recommend him to be used, let's see, I can definitely recommend this weapon here, which is for Gunoff. That will give him a bunch of shields. It doesn't matter if he gets that or not. This let me switch over here. Malford's weapon is good, but I don't really recommend it. There is a case for him to have actually a crit weapon, because he's going to become immortal for 3 turns, and he gets life for 50% when he's +1. So that can definitely be a case to, on him on defense, have a crit weapon. I really do need to test this. I need to find somebody that is brave enough to get him on defense with this weapon, because as I showed you, he has the potential to do so much freaking damage that it is possible to do that. So maybe even in F4, even though he gains life up by 50%, that could be a problem. But he's still gonna get that extra attack there. So maybe Karma's weapon in F4, that could be interesting to see there as well. I think that's pretty much it there. A little bit, if you want to go through one of those paths, shields or attack, or crit damage. Or in other words, a crit chance to actually make him crit as much as possible with his passives there, especially if he's +5. If he's +5, he's going to do a lot of damage in that situation for sure. So guys, my last recommendations for this guy. I still don't think that he's a must-have. Remember, must-have means that if you don't have him, you're not able to play the game properly. You're able to play the game properly without him. However, I played him a lot in this last week, and at +0, he's incredibly useful. Stunning an enemy for 3 turns, it doesn't matter who it is. Makes open doors to actually beat a Mildred and Alia teams in that situation, even at +0. So yeah, that is pretty powerful stuff, guys. And also, if you don't have Nan, if you don't have Callisto, well, if you just don't have Nan right off the bat, this is an amazing replacement for Nan. So if you don't have Nan, this is your chance to get a good hero that's going to buff your entire freaking team, attack and defense. Oh my god, that is crazy. So yeah, that's a big big opportunity for whoever doesn't have Nan in this situation. He's an amazing replacement there. But if you're going to go for him, I highly recommend to get his +1. His +1 is so freaking powerful. You can give him an attack weapon and not having to worry of him actually dying, because he's gonna get a life back. He's gonna be immortal for 3 turns. Yeah, and he's gonna turn the target enemy purple. So when you're playing yellow, that is going to be very, very relevant when you're going off with him for sure in that situation. His +3 is going to make him do even more damage when the enemy actually attacks you in the situation. So that's pretty awesome. And his +5 fixes the problem with his mana. That is very important stuff. It's pretty much the same mechanic for getting mana as Artemis, and as you've seen before, Artemis is pretty freaking amazing getting mana on her own at +5. So yeah, and getting extra protection and actually more damage though from counterattack is pretty amazing as well, guys. I've seen a few guys attacking him on defense with the entire yellow team there. Whoop! He actually died right off the bat. So this +5 is pretty powerful, guys. But the sweet spot for him is definitely the +1 for sure. Once you get this +1, you can do a bunch of things with him for sure. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for Arthur. If you have any questions, concerns, please leave it in the comments and we'll talk about it. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.